Mazda. What the heck? We might have just found our issue.
Bro, what? It's pretty good, right?
What's up, guys? We are back in the Datsun content. If you remember the last video, we figured out maybe what's going on with the engine because it was overheating and there was lots of issues, and we reasoned to figure out that maybe it's something to do with the radiator having a clog problem, because when you rev it, the upper hose gets hard and the bottom one completely collapses as if it cannot suck through the radiator because the radiator has some sort of restriction. So what we're gonna do, pull the radiator, inspect it with some cameras, maybe cut it in half, because why not? Replace it and see if that fixes the issue before we pull the engine and do a complete rebuild with a brand new big turbo, ethanol, E85, and 5,000 horsepower. Thank God, I'm the one that designed this. I know that it can come out, I think.
You want me to ask the designer? Did you look at the recommended tools with the instructions on how to remove this
I didn't write any.
piece?
Hopefully I don't have this problem with my next one. Take that, Mazda. Datsun. Now we inspect, then we protect. So a little bit of radiator information. When you have an inlet and outlet on both sides, typically in an ideal world, you would have a dual pass. A dual pass means that there's a plate in between here that forces the fluid to go over, down, and back over instead of all the hot fluid staying on one side and not completely circulating. The weird thing is, when I look at this radiator and I shine a light in here, we'll get the camera. So my concern is, we have a plate on this side. This is halfway through the radiator. I don't know, maybe this radiator was converted from something else at one point. But that means that if there's plates over here, well, let's see if there's plates over here, and then we'll draw a diagram. Oh. What the heck? Well, buddy, we might have just found our issue.
Yeah.
Looks like some Twizzlers in there. What the heck? Yo, hear me out. What if the engine actually is hurt, but he tried to do some ghetto fix? Dude, I've never seen... Johan! Get over here.
Is it a bunch of RTV or a creature in there?
It looks like 17 Twizzlers inside of there.
Like a creature. Look at how it's coming out of the fins.
Yeah. Holy crap.
What the heck,
It's like
dude?
watching Stranger Things.
Right? It's the Loch Ness Monster.
There you go. That's your problem.
There's also a plate here, too.
Yeah.
How far down? So the plate is like here.
Let me see the monster.
Oh, you want to see the monster?
Silicone.
That's
It's
not the
like,
problem, though.
what?
Oh, yeah, it is. Jesus.
Now
Chill.
I really-
Kids these days. All right, let's see what we got underneath.
Now I really want to cut this thing open.
So underneath, we have another plate. So I'm gonna show you the path that this water has to take with all these
That's gotta be
plates.
something.
All right, I've drawn some beautiful illustrations for you to see what's going on. Now, if we did not have any plates whatsoever, all of the hot fluid would hang out over here. This side would stay relatively cool. So what you do in a dual pass, you put a plate right here, and it forces the fluid to go boop, 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 and then out here. But what we have going on with this system that seems quite weird, that plate is actually over here, and there's plates here and here, which means that the fluid path is going 1, 2, 3, 4 passes, which is absolutely unnecessary. In addition to the squiggly RTV that we've found inside of it, this just takes way too long for the fluid to go, and probably is contributing to the backup. So we'll be going to a traditional dual pass, but I figured this helps illustrate. And if you're curious, if you do have a radiator where you have the inlet here and you have the outlet here, you don't need a plate, because traditionally, like, it's gonna flow this way anyway. Or if you had plates, then it could be a triple pass. But either way, I think dual pass, all we need for this thing. I kind of do want to cut it though.
Yeah, can we please?
It's gonna be messy, but I kind of do want to cut it.
I want to see that thing, like, not with borescope.
Yeah, what's the easiest way for me to cut it and not make a mess? Pry bar. What I really liked about my fan shroud is how I designed the pulley to be self-clearancing. And you can tell, because it's the HD fan, it has a much thicker core that's resilient to self-clearancing. You good, bro? No. All right, for science, let's see what's going on in here. All right, we should be able to inspect one. ¿Qué? ¿La ruta de la gasolina? Sí. ¿Está bien? Sí. Un poco. All right. Where's the third number when I need it? So the plate might be welded in here.
Homeboy left his initials in there.
Did he? Wow, that is weird, huh? All right.
Well, I can see there's a bunch of stuck in there.
What is that? It looks like seaweed.
Yeah. It looks like grass, like dirt and grass.
Dude, what the heck? Tell me that doesn't look weird.
It definitely looks weird.
All right, that's one side. Let's keep going. I probably should have done this in the first place, but.
What is behind door number 2?
That's a plate right there. That's 2 plates. Sorry, Walt.
That was a wall after that one.
Yeah, it's not. It could be that bad. All right. It's honestly not as bad as I thought it would be.
It looked way worse in the bore scope.
Yeah, it did.
What about this tank? Well, there you can see the two
The plates.
the 2 plates.
Yeah, and then on this side, we it's weird. I've never seen anything like this. They almost like little animals. But this isn't RTV, dude. This is like
Grass, dirt.
Cardboard.
what?
Cardboard.
Maybe.
Maybe from when they built it.
Maybe. Be interesting to just like go outside, fill it up with a hose, and see how like easily it just drains through. I was gonna make a clever joke, but I'll save it for later. Here at LZMFG, we don't just charge to fix your car. We charge you to take apart what was broken on your car, tell you why it was broken, and make a video about it. Who the f put this hose here? There are 3,000 kinks. This is awful. That's 5 kinks. Yeah. All right. Let's check the flow. I mean, I guess this isn't the best example, but it's not terrible.
It's doing a thing, I guess.
But imagine I have this zigzag through all that RTV bull.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the f I'm doing. God damn it.
Bro, we gotta put that back in the car.
My absolutely terrible whistling diesel impression. Me at clutch kickers when I drive aggressively and the person in front of me brake checks. Gah!
Was that out of the mop head or the...
I don't know, but it tasted disgusting. Well, I can see all the way through the core now. Gotta hold it up to the sun. Oh, so you can see.
The future?
No, that they're actually not that blocked. I can see through them all, actually. Maybe this is just a gator, though.
I mean, regardless, that second hose is compressing, so
Yeah.
it's got to be this thing.
Well, having a quintuple pass never did anybody any good. I overnighted a universal radiator. I think it's like a sprint car radiator or something. There's honestly not a lot of size options that fit, but I did find out after I bought this one that I could have just gotten any off-the-shelf RX3 radiator and it would have been perfect and required basically no modifications. This one, as I'm going through it, we're gonna need to either make some sort of custom radiator hose or enlarge this one. Small concern is that the surface area is actually a little bit smaller than the old one. You can see I lost a little bit, not a whole lot actually, very minimal, but it will fit great. Again though, it doesn't have tabs, so we'll need to make some sort of tabs that can be mounted with, where if I got the RX3 radiator, those come with tabs because of how they mount, and I probably could have just thrown them in. I'm gonna put some cardboard on it to protect the fins, take some measurements, figure out how it is, then I'm gonna let Johan do some welding in this because definitely not something that I feel competent doing yet. And in case you're wondering, this one is a true dual pass. So you can see there's a little indentation. There's one plate here. So water goes in, over, down, over, done. All right, so let's hope that I can fit a fan in here. Basically, I'm gonna like hold it up. I'm gonna try to get a measurement for where I gotta put the tab off of the radiator. But it should be pretty self-explanatory. A little bit lower than the last one. Fortunately, we're still in the same boat in terms of fan placement. The stupid pulley just creates so much interference with space. I was hoping I'd be able to just have the fan centered on this, but looks like it's gonna need to be offset, and I'm still gonna need to come up with some sort of shroud system. Johan's about to tap in, lay down some TIG. We got this guy marked for here, this guy marked for here. I'm leaving this one not drilled, that way if I need to move the radiator around a bit, I can. And then I've got to chop this thing off so Johan can weld this on and get our radiator hose in the right spot. So, to the bandsaw we go. This the boy sawing his brand new radiator. All right, I got the new goes on like this, and John does the nice. This may seem a little dramatic for just changing your radiator, but there's like very high stakes in this because if the radiator doesn't solve the problem, that means the entire engine needs to come out and be rebuilt. So there's a lot of anticipation on my end with this. Also, I did see a lot of comments about the thermostat. Unfortunately, this water pump housing is modified so it cannot accept a thermostat. I did order another water pump, but I think regardless of thermostat or no thermostat, now that we know more about that radiator, it definitely probably was contributing to our problems most likely.
I think,
of course. So I'm redoing my pretty shroud to make it work with this. I'm just gonna have Johan tack weld it on because trying to make this a bolt-on affair right now is going to eat more time. The problem with the fan that we're using now, it has like build height in the center. So it's pressing up against the fins if we don't have some build height. So the shroud will not only help pull across all the radiator, but it will also give us that build height that we need. Hopefully this will be what we need. Damn, that's kind of shriveled down there, isn't it? I don't like that. So this fan has been annoying me because to make a shroud is very difficult because the fan actually sits out below the cage, which means that the shroud needs to be so perfect I can't have any overlap with the radiator. I went over to Drift HQ. I pulled off probably 8 different fans off the shelf, trying to find one that would work and wouldn't be a sacrifice in terms of CFM. And then I just gave up and I started looking at the fan. I was like, huh, what if I pull these 4 bolts out and then I can move the cage down and space it out? Duh. So now I'll use these little nylon washers. I'll do that and then everything's fixed.
good idea. Big brain.
Big brain. Frustrated brain, but big brain sometimes. It's good.
The wiring by booth.
All right.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Chill.
Sick. No catch?
No what?
No cap?
I don't
Really,
cap.
Adam?
I don't be capping.
On God?
Stop.
I'm stoked. We could have just built our own radiator at this point.
Whenever we see the temps.
With the
Right
mo-
here, there's a lot of air coming out.
Hey, I
The Supra is actually worse than that.
yeah,
No, it's
Stop.
not.
You need to fill in.
With the ducting on. There you
No,
go.
no.
all fixed.
Gotta love that.
No.
You got your speed holes so
right
that air can come out when you're driving fast.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I feel like I say it in every video, but always pressure test before you go to the track and then get in your pocket and blow your motor. That stupid radiator install kicked my ass today. Almost a full day to get it where it's at. Everything appears to be working harmoniously. I did the rev test. The top one still gets a little hard, but the bottom one doesn't collapse, which tells me it's probably just because the car doesn't have a thermostat. It's getting higher on the pressure side. But I'm pretty hopeful because reading on this gauge in the car right now, we've got about 165, 170, and I've probably been idling for like 15 minutes. Now the test is I'm gonna go beat the crap out of the car, see if it still stays hot or if it cools down fast. Let's find out. Could also do this and see if it affects it at all. James reacts to my 300 horsepower Datsun.
Oh man, this thing's rowdy.
It feels like you're gonna die, and that's my favorite part.
There's nothing to hold on to.
I feel that.
It does. It sounds like it's falling apart.
That's a good thing. It means it's fast. Hopefully I tightened everything that was supposed to be tightened.
Hopefully.
All right. Let's see. Is she gonna get hot?
Bro, what?
It's pretty good, right?
This thing's a go-kart.
Yeah.
Man.
I spent more time working on this car than any other car this year.
Oh, this is. I did not expect this at all.
It's pretty good.
I thought this was a little putter that you would just use as like a golf cart around the car. Jesus.
That launch is sick, right?
Dude,
It's something special.
That one's got the, what is it, more miles per gallon than
Yeah, but rotaries use a lot of gallons, so the ratio might be a little off.
this thing rips.
We're at 190. Let's see if it cools down or if she's gonna stay hot. I'll drop you back off. It's good though, right?
Dude, it's so
It drifts too. It's kind of terrifying to drift though.
those skinny bicycle tires.
All right, 5 stars for your ride.
Oh yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Many pulls later, we haven't even cracked 200 and that gauge reads higher. John's about to give old girl for a rip. I haven't ridden passenger in this thing yet, so
We'll see.
yeah.
Make you feel high, you make us
Dude,
feel high.
how funny are these tiny little pedals?
Like a little Asian kid was driving it.
Oh, dude, the no headrest gets you.
Yeah.
Because you don't know when it's coming.
See, I didn't do it this time because I'm driving, so I
Yeah.
guess.
Just beware of the brakes.
Yeah, that's what I'm testing right now.
I think you're the first person to drive this thing.
In the good conditions. Oh, you brake.
Bro, this thing's too good.
Bro.
I can't believe it can take that. Is this thing nuts?
Yeah, no, this is.
It is a smile machine. Woo. It's so scary also because of the stopping part.
Right. If it wasn't for that, like.
I want to film it from outside the car.
Yeah, that's one.
Damn, I can't believe it, dude. We're still at 200 and this thing's been getting it. Usually I'd be having to hose it down and... It is so terrifyingly fun. What a good car. Dude, you look good in this thing. Yo, whip a couple donuts. It's like the craziest feeling donut you'll ever feel.
It won't flip over.
I swear it won't flip. It's gonna be, I haven't done like a transition, I've only done donuts.
No, I won't do that.
Oh, I don't care, it's just, it might not work. Yeah. body roll. Tell me that doesn't feel wild.
Weird. I mean, I thought I was sitting on the passenger seat for a second.
Is it getting?
Bolsters the seats.
How's the temps?
It just got to 210. So
210 after all that. And I bet it'll cool right down. Before it would be at like 250, no problem. I mean, that's crazy if it's only at 210 after all that. I'm feeling pretty good. All right.
we'll see how.
On one hand, I am super relieved that this engine appears to be okay, but on the other hand, I'm a little bit disappointed because Vargas is coming into town and I was kind of looking forward to taking it apart and learning a little bit more about rotaries. I'm gonna do a shift now and put my focus somewhere else. I'm curious what you guys want to see. I don't think we can make that much more power on pump gas. The downpipe looks a little small. I know that rotaries like to breathe, so I'm leaning towards maybe redoing the downpipe and exhaust because right now it leaks a lot, like bad. Like you definitely feel it inside the car. It stinks. So maybe redo the downpipe, maybe can change a wastegate spring and get another pound or two out of it. At 300 horsepower, this thing's nuts. I can't imagine what it'd feel like at like 350. I just want to take advantage of the time while Vargas is down here, get this thing extra super dialed, but at least it runs cool now. And it's nice to be able to understand the problem fully, put the solution and see it work. I may end up changing the water pump still, that way I can have a thermostat. As I mentioned, this one's like welded internally to do, there's some like block you need to do to be able to run no thermostat on these. So maybe that's something we do down the road, but for now, I fixed the coolant problem. And let me know where you guys want to see me go next with this thing. Yeah, what's the easiest way for me to cut it and not make a mess? Pry bar. What the heck? Well, buddy, we might have just found our issue.